everybody.
Heavy round of applause.
Look at Mr. Fancy Billy sitting up there in the
Right?
kick
Isn't this
studio.
cool? We
What?
took a screenshot of the studio at Kicker and put me in it. It's magic. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really here. It's not a dream.
And we got Mr. Dan Horner in the house.
Hey, Dan, man, it's nice to finally meet you, man.
Yeah, it's good seeing you guys. It's been a little while. Kind of been hibernating since we got like a foot of snow a day ago. So
Dang.
You can keep all that snow up your way, sir. We don't need it.
you can have a little of it.
No, sir. It's coming. Trust me. But I don't want it. Billy don't get no snow down where he's from.
Oh, we get snow. We get snow every 10 years or so.
I was gonna say what?
About an inch.
10 years.
we get about an inch every 10 years.
Well, you have to introduce your crew. Who's back behind you there? Is that?
He's hiding back there now. He's you see those glass, all that glass behind me? Yell, Kip.
We got Kip in the house. Is it just Kip back there?
Yeah, he's back there. He's handling all the controls, man. It's a lot of controls back there. There's a lot of buttons.
Come on, do that fancy back shot screen where you can say hi, Kip. I know you could do it.
Yeah, he is by the switcher.
There you are. Hey. That's kind of funny to see you back there. But thank you for your help tonight.
Right, no doubt. So Dan, man, so what do you do? What do you do up there? What is Directronics, man?
Well, we build recones, we repair, refurbish subwoofers, come up with some of our own kits. I guess we've had a little bit of an SPL team. I don't know, Jimmy, part of that, along with a pretty good group of other guys.
Yeah,
pretty good list. Yeah, I don't know, between building subs and running around going to shows and building subs there most of the time. Sometimes I don't get to see shows. I see more of the trailer. But, yeah, just basically trying to keep everybody playing more or less at the shows. That was kind of the original intent. And then, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Now, they say you're pretty much a wizard at SPL, right? Yeah, no,
sometimes.
They say it. Everybody says it, man.
There's a few of them.
Yeah, well, they say you're one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try.
So, is it
good group of guys with a lot of good ideas tossed around, and we try a bunch of different things. That kind of helps. I mean,
yeah, that's what I was just about to ask. What do you try? Like, I mean, when you say try things, you mean spiders? You mean
a lot of it
comb material?
Soft parts. I mean, soft parts can get dialed in kind of as you dial the car in. I have yet to do a lot more dialing into the little truck that I have. I barely had. I spent more time. Let's put it this way: I spent more time fixing that thing, keeping it trailer worthy, than what I got to work on actually the car. And then we shot side glass out, and that was quite a bit to get that fixed, and took a little bit of time. So I'm hoping for a lot better time next year, getting a little more time into the vehicle, and we got a few things we want to try. The double windshield's going to hopefully help keep things together a little better, but once we can keep the truck together, then we can work on getting a little louder.
Yeah. So when you go to dialing these things in, I'm curious now, do you build the enclosure? And most people wouldn't have this option, but you probably do. So I guess my question is, do you build the enclosure and then make your Theo Small parameters for your speaker work with your enclosure, or do you do it like everybody else does?
Pretty much guess and test, try this, try that, and whatever ends up working.
But you're trying the stuff with your speakers most of the time, right?
A lot of times with the speakers. I mean, sometimes you can play with sub box, but I mean, once that's kind of more or less there, it's kind of there. Now you got to kind of play with small little adjustments with it, and then try different adjustments on subs. I know this year we're hopefully, if we can ever see the compact V3s get released. Sorry, Jake. Just waiting for them.
Right.
But yeah, well, that's going to be the next thing that goes in there. We're going to test out compact V3s, build them the same way, and see where we land. After that, then double glass and all that. My goal is just to get them, test them. I want to see a back-to-back difference between one sub versus the other, at least in my application, see where we're at with that. I know another car I once had a little fun with, little white truck that just recently got a new owner, so it should be hitting the competition scene the next year too. So
Oh yeah.
don't know if I'm allowed to say who got it, but it is coming back out. It should be a good time to see the gentleman who got it. He's definitely been around a while, built a lot of cars himself, and had quite a bit of fun doing it. So we'll see what he can come up with it. I think it's kind
Sounds
of
like
a
Steve
surprise
Herman.
to bring out.
Sounds like Steve Herman. Am I right?
Steve's got everything. Why
Right.
not be Steve Herman?
Steve.
He's got like
Yeah.
15 caravans sitting in his driveway.
Right.
No, unfortunately, Steve Herman did not get it. So he will. Spoiler alert, it's not him.
Not Steve. All right. Well, you never know. You never know. So,
Where's the brains behind the organization at?
Oh, I don't know. I think she's finishing making supper.
I'm telling you, he's got an amazing girl that stands behind him 100%. And she's a really cool person. Trust me. She might not seem like it online sometimes because you guys ask some of the stupidest questions, but she's an amazing person.
She can deal with it pretty good. I mean, for the most part, everyone. Yeah, there's definitely help to the answer. They'll be like, "Hey, Dan, while you're over there doing whatever, why don't you answer? This guy's asking this guy's asking that." So, yeah, it's not just me. There's no way possible I could manage to do 3-4 different jobs in one day. We tried that early on. It's
right.
I think we finally got things under control a little bit. The biggest thing with parts this year has been hard to get, okay, to say the least. That's been the biggest.
Yeah.
Good one, Herman.
Right. I would agree with that 100%.
But yeah, parts has been problems. I mean, that's kind of been the sluggish part for us. Just the main thing holding us back a little bit this last season. But I think everything, hopefully, for the next season should end up being more control of that situation per se. I know we're doing everything we can to try to accommodate for that too, such as trying to pre-order, bulk parts ahead of time just to try to.
So I have to ask the obvious question. Have you ever reconed a kicker sub?
I don't know. Am I going to get in trouble if we modified them? So sorry. Yeah, we have done them, and the only reason I say modify is the simple fact that there's not a lot of people that make parts that fit, the standard square frame. So most of the ones we've done, we've taken the square frame off, modified another frame, and then, made like a TI frame, for instance, or something on.
Is that using like the Solo X motor?
Solo X.
Or is that the regular?
Yeah. I was going
What
to
was
say,
that about modifying a kicker sub? What? Hello?
I've had quite a few of my friends use a Solo X motor and put them on TI baskets and like completely rework them.
It seems like a pretty decent sub like that as well. I mean, obviously it wasn't made to be like that, but there isn't a whole lot of options out there. Maybe they'll come up with something again. I don't know, to fix them, but
Trust me.
It's a little bit of work to do it. But I think the motor is still strong. I still feel that Solo X motor, the 18, that's still a pretty strong motor even yet to this day. But
Right.
yeah, we've made some pretty cool subs out of them, I guess.
Well, I mean, if you could take a look at some of the subs sitting over there to Billy's, I guess, right. Some of the new stuff that they're coming out with.
Oh my God, this is heavy.
Yeah. So,
It's
and as Kip always says, that's in the Solo X family. So there's going to be a little more coming.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's waiting to see this. Has there anybody done a whole lot of testing on the subs in car yet, or nothing really yet?
As far as I know, no one has the speaker yet. So no, there has been.
There was a little. They played with it some on the live stream last week.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I want to say Ramondo and all them. Ramondo was actually at the studio, and
he was here.
That. Yeah. So.
What's going to be the plan for Base Wars this next season here? Jimmy? What's new in store? I know we've been talking for some time now. I think we got to work on that tent thing a little bit. We were talking about maybe see if we
I
can
think
get a little more involved with you guys.
me and Billy
Yeah.
actually talked about that earlier, and I definitely think it's definitely something in the works, and we all need to sit down and kind of chit chat about it and see where we
You
can
know,
come.
I mean, the organization's good. I think it's going in a good direction. I think people have a lot of fun doing it. I mean, when we have base wars, a lot of shows Jimmy shows up at, it's always a great time. It's never been a letdown. The lanes are always full, it seems like, and
I
it's
Yeah,
a
appreciate
it's
that.
busy deal
it,
over there. And I'd like to show a little bit of support to you guys and try to
yeah,
pitch
we
in a little
appreciate it,
bit.
man. Yeah, we have not had any problems. We don't really have drama, man. We just haven't had any. I know we're 5 years in, and I know it's coming. Maybe even 6 years in, and I know that's coming. Some drama somewhere someday, but we hadn't had it yet.
Well, and
I mean, none. I can't believe it.
my favorite saying, and I'm going to continue to say it for 1,000 years, is base wars brings the fun back to the lanes. Because it is what it is. You got beat by somebody with 210. Sorry, go do something and fix it.
Yeah, come on back, try again.
Right.
Exactly. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had fun rolling in and just, I think people like seeing the little truck fire off one way or the other. But
Right.
yeah, we've had a lot of good times just hanging out and just, doing little testing and stuff kind of behind the scenes, seeing how things work. A lot of that stuff does seem to happen in Iowa for some reason.
It does. But it's kind of a fun
Must
time.
be warmer there.
Yeah.
Well, especially from where Dan's from. Yeah, I'm sure he could probably go outside. There's a foot of snow out there right
Oh,
now.
yeah. Yeah, we just
Where
got
where
dumped
are
on.
you at, Dan? Where are you at?
Well, we're southern Minnesota. We're probably maybe
Oh,
2 hours, maybe north of Iowa.
So, is it really? Okay. Uh, what's
Yeah.
north of Ohio? Is that Minnesota? Or Michigan?
Yeah, we're probably higher than them, I would think.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
kind of up and around. Yeah.
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 All right. That's cold, huh?
Oh, it's not exactly warm, no. But yeah, no, we got dumped on. I'm actually okay with it. If it's gonna be cold, why not have snow, right? So I mean, this is the first real snowfall we had this year, and most of it
And
ended
that's a
up kind of in
foot.
our general vicinity, even
We
north of
haven't
here,
had
which is
none yet,
surprising, got less.
but
But,
it's coming.
oh yeah, you're
Man.
gonna get it soon.
It's
But
coming.
yeah,
Yes.
hopefully not too much more snow, otherwise I won't be able to make it to that indoor show you guys are maybe thinking about.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to give any insight on that, or haven't you guys discussed the
That's
total date?
Well, we
you mean
haven't.
for the finals?
No. Me and Paul Nazar, I believe that's how you say his last name, are working on a show that's coming up here real soon,
That's
and we're
real
gonna
cool.
try to do like a indoor show to kind of where you pull in, you meet, or you pull out. You know, but
Right,
I
right.
don't know, something to kind of keep the fun going because everything always around here shuts down during the winter. So
Yeah, it's kind of an odd duck thing. I mean, until I started having guys like customers and stuff, out east and some out west, never dawned on me these guys they don't give up with the shows, man. Like I get hearing from Pop Tart all the time in Tennessee. Yeah, man, we're having a show like every weekend.
he's in here. He's
Yeah,
watching.
yeah, I see him
Mhm.
there. What's going on, Pop Tart? How's it going, buddy?
Where's base? Where's located?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's
Oh.
wondering.
We
Yeah,
don't.
we have nothing out there yet. Did you guys get something towards Tennessee?
Well, we just did one in Benton, Tennessee, and we just brought Jake Luke on. He's in North Mississippi. He's gonna handle the Eastern Tennessee, and then Alan Schaefer just came on with us, and he's gonna start doing Western Tennessee and the Carolinas and all those little states around there. I don't know
I'm
if y'all know
telling you,
Alan,
before you
but
guys realize it, we're going to be everywhere. It's a
Yeah.
takeover.
we we still need somebody around Indianapolis or what's that? One of those little Columbus, Ohio. That would be ideal, right? Will we find somebody exactly there? I don't know, but that would be
There's got to
ideal.
be someone around Indiana, don't you think, Jimmy? We might know a few people.
Right?
I think I know maybe one or two up in there, but yeah, that's what we have talked
Yeah.
about. Sound check.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, get some
Yeah.
get them guys doing base wars over there, Jimmy.
Boy, we get sound check in there. That would be nice.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I can't imagine they wouldn't want more competitions. I mean, they like competition. They would be a good one. Just pull up whatever you got and have fun. I can't see them not being about all that.
I think so as
Yeah.
well. You know how they are. They're very competitive over there, so that'd be pretty cool, actually.
Right. Yeah. See what happens. Clamp class. What's going on with that?
No, Herman. No,
Right.
Herman. We have said this 5,000 times, Herman. No, no.
So after I get all the other guys up and going well with the SPL stuff, and me have learned to support them well, then I will probably start off a sound quality version of Base Wars, and that's where we're gonna do some classes as well with that.
Kip's having fun back there with the mixer. Welcome to Kicker.
Right? Yeah.
Robert Diaz. Well, maybe. I don't know. There might be a chance of that. It depends how long we're on the East Coast and how things go. But if something lines up where it's, hey, we'll swing down to Florida, check out a show. I know there's a bunch of guys down in Florida ready to hang out. You know, a lot of Bubba's buddies down there. Bubba Brewer, I'm sure. Is he even in here watching? I'm sure he ain't in here.
I don't normally see him in here, but he definitely competes with us down there.
Yeah, no, him and some of his guys, I'm sure they'd love to have us come down there and say what's up in Florida. Yeah, if we can make it line up, maybe we'll try to hit up a show in Florida somehow this next summer.
Yeah, you'll like it. You'll like it. I just make it a vacation.
Yeah, check some things out. That's kind of what we do the whole way. Otherwise, I could never talk her into coming along.
Absolutely.
So,
If you can't talk her into coming to Florida, man, something wrong.
oh, she'll go to Florida, I'm sure of
Well,
that.
absolutely. I'm sure she would for that one.
Got a few places we'd like to check. There's a few places bucket listing in there yet that we got to hit up. So maybe it'd be worth it. Maybe this is the year.
Huh? You never know. Absolutely.
You could even find some soft
things.
parts down there or a voice coil down there that you could make a business trip and carry them all back with you.
There we go.
Absolutely.
I know there's somebody that makes them down there.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to stop at
Right.
PE and say, hey, can I grab a bunch of coil?
Right.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You know you want to come hang out. Yeah, Bubba, Daniel. Yeah. I haven't talked to him since finals in Alabama.
Bubba Brewer.
But yeah, no, there's a few people I got to get in touch with. There's another guy. Oh, yeah, there you go, Rob. Yeah, I think he might have figured something out. That might work out. I remember seeing something like that.
Yeah,
Rob's a good dude. I'd love to come support that show for him. That'd be.
We have been doing a lot of shows actually at his house.
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
I'm going to try to come down there for one show this year. That's my goal.
Which one? You mean scraping or?
At Rob's house.
Oh, yeah. Well, he said he might buy a place, so we might not have that anymore. He said he'll know after the first, but I hit him up to schedule
somewhere
something.
down there at least.
Said he may move, yeah.
See, Bubba made it in here. There he is.
Right. You call his name, they come.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I think that'd be fun. Checking out Florida, that'd be. I've only been to Florida on the tip of it once, more or less. Just we crossed the border just to say we were there.
On like the top part?
Yeah, right at the top. We were kind of.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like Alabama or Georgia. Yeah. When you go down southern, if you go a little further, you see water.
Right.
It's cool.
That's my goal. I want to see the water down there.
I think it would be cool to get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe this will be the year. We could probably make that work out.
I tried to get Hank to come in here one of these days, but I'm not big enough for Hank to recognize right now.
Once he decides to start deadening that Civic, maybe he'll show up. I don't know.
Everybody call out Hank Beach right now. Just blast his name in the page.
He's busy doing some kind of
who knows what he's
food
doing
type thing, like dieting thing. Ain't he on some kind of kick like that, exercise and dieting? I think the whole whole
Yeah.
lot of them got hooked on that real quick.
Hmm.
Maybe we blame Jake. I don't know who started that over there. I don't know.
No,
Right.
I think Hank actually had a surgery or something done, so he had to chill out for a little bit.
Yeah. But
So,
yeah,
so tell us, man, how do you make the vehicles loud? There's a lot of people that want to get loud. They,
test.
we
test,
have a lot
test.
of new
Well,
people in
first you
Base
got to
Wars,
find
and we
vehicles
have a
that
lot
are
of dailies.
normally loud.
Cheater
People pick certain vehicles for reasons.
Yeah. What
Hank
are
grabbed
those
this
reasons?
vehicle for a reason, and there's a reason I wanted to buy the vehicle. Just because, whatever. The main thing was, I'd like to do more organizations, and my Terra, that was pretty much deemed to like one organization. Well, and I think I could run it your guys' org too, didn't I, Jimmy? I think I
did
did.
actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just the whole floor cut thing ain't really allowed for a lot of other orgs, and I'd like to kind of use
Oh,
this
yeah.
thing and be able to play around with it. It was a very good platform to start with. I said we got to do questions. I want to try inside, maybe try a different subs. I may or may not have found 6 to be better than that. I still have to go test that, but basically testing, trying to find efficiency. That's about the efficiency numbers getting better and better. You're not going to gain much. It's, power dumping is one thing. I see a lot of that. Man, it shows. Oh, I got 1,000 watts on each coil or whatever. Well, you also got to try to get a very good number on like 1,200 watts.
Right.
and see where you're going from there. It's a lot of testing, a lot of work is really what it comes down to. Try this. Hey, that lost drastically. Hey, try this. Hey, there we go. That worked. So many different things that you probably try and test, and some of it gains, some of it doesn't. Some of it doesn't make sense. Some of
Your,
it does.
your connection's actually starting to lag a little bit there, Dan.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Am I losing the internet? Is it better or worse?
Now it's actually gotten a little better.
Yeah. It
Okay,
just
let me
got better,
make
but
sure.
the last about minute and a half, it was a guess at what you're
Lagging
saying.
out. All
Yeah.
right.
All
Get
we
off your
heard
phone,
was
sir.
efficiency makes SPL.
Yeah.
I
No,
think is
mainly
what we
I don't
got
know
out
what
of
you
that.
heard, but efficiency that's the main thing. Without working on that, that's like the main goal. You get a number, you set a number, say, okay, I'd like to do, like for instance, say I'd like to do a 160 on like 1,000 watts. Set a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Now you turn it on, and it might be a 160 on 12,000 watts. Well, now you just start testing, trying this, try that, start playing with tuning. Am I wigging out again on here or what?
No, you're good.
Dial up Pop Tart. I guarantee it's not dial up, but it's it is what it is.
Does well, actually, I'll tell you something. I don't know what computer you're on right now, but so Jimmy used to be like that, and he changed computers and it worked. So it's some processor there, probably video card, I'm guessing. But I don't know.
I mean, this computer isn't the greatest thing that's ever existed, and we got a lot of stuff downloaded on it for work and everything else. So it's,
Yeah.
whatever, could be part of it. But yeah, I mean, efficiency is the main thing. That's
So hey,
you should
how
test
do
on
you
that.
how do you improve efficiency? How do you do that?
Well, you could basically you need a term lab and a clamp. That's your
Mhm.
best bet. If you want to go to war with some of these guys that have very good low power scores and stuff like that, the main thing, get your clamp start, and that's how you'll test your efficiency. You start doing a number. Say you're doing a 154 at like 3,000 watts, but really
Right.
you need to do it on like 2,000 watts.
Yeah.
You're going to have to basically just keep whittling away at things. Test this. Okay, play with the seat, or play with visors, or tape a piece of tape on a window on this spot, not on this spot. And it's a lot of finicky stuff, but you'll find a little bit on low power. But what you do on low power doesn't necessarily duplicate the high power. I mean, you can kind of see that with mine. I mean, obviously, the best I've done with this is 70.9 with one amplifier DB drag sealed. Okay, I didn't gain decibels after decibels after decibels by going to 7 amplifiers. I added 6 amplifiers, and we're at 73.1 was I think this year 2 times, and then pretty consistent 73s. So you're not gaining 3 dB every time you're doubling power. Obviously, it's not how it works at that level, but a lot of it you do have to just keep working efficiency numbers down. Your best is to try to, obviously a lot of times what you see lower power will equate to some kind of gain on the top, but a tenth at a time. I mean, even hundredth. I mean, you start working on things. Here's 100th, here's 200s, here's 300s. Well, eventually you got another tenth. So it's a lot of playing around, pretty much, to make a long story short.
So, so in this testing that you've done in the past, what is something that maybe surprised you that you gained and you maybe didn't expect? Something that sticks out that says, "Man, I tried that, didn't think it would work, but then it was amazing." Is there anything like that?
I think Steve Herman's vehicle would be the prime example of that. How did I figure out something odd duck caravan wise? Okay, well, and this is a secret. Yeah, we'll let it out. Okay, most people know it. If that windshield cracks right in the center, or it leaks in the center, or what have you, it gives you a way better efficiency score. Steve Herman would have a better understanding, or maybe some information he wants to share on how much the difference is when the windows broke. But it's the same. But it doesn't work on all of them, though, does it, Steve? I mean, sometimes it does. Yeah. Don't tell secrets. Well, that's a good one. I mean, come on, Steve. You got some work to do, don't you? So,
right.
But no, I mean, it doesn't always work. I mean, Aaron found out. He said that his did not like that whatsoever. But pretty much any of the flat wall ones we've ever had, I have never seen that be a problem, or even my no wall kind of for that instance. But which to say, not in the least, John Hyland had that, and he did okay. Herman's saying it's about 0.6 on and that's you're looking at a 5,000 watt score at that point. I'm going to agree with that. That sounds about right. And I used to have that van at 1.2, and I found that one time out of the middle of nowhere. I'm like, okay, cool. Window cracks, efficiency goes through the moon. I like this. Turned it up. All of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I see quite a bit better score here. Is there anything wrong with that? But it's the exact opposite in Farino. Farino has broken or leaky glass. Opposite direction. It doesn't. That's why I'm waiting to hopefully see what happens if I ever get 2 windows in there that are sealed, brand new, nothing cracked. That was still on a single glass last year. We literally the same piece of glass. Jimmy watched me break apart all year.
Or shatter out the side one.
Yeah, a little side one flew out. It is what it is. We got some new surprises coming this year, Jimmy. We might have a couple extra cars coming to some shows that I don't know if I'm able to say which ones yet, but there'll be a few coming that should be pretty fun.
I will be gladly looking forward to that. Someone said that Hank is here. Uh-oh.
Where is that guy?
Hank Veach is in the house? No way.
We got to get him to click in on the show here.
He should comment.
He says he can't watch it. He says, I can't watch it. What?
I don't see that one.
Here you go.
Is he on live?
Oh, it moves. Sorry. My bad.
I can't listen or watch, so.
Yeah, he's busy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's a busy man.
No, he did some beast mode stuff. I mean, a lot of the videos early on and stuff with the build that looked like it was going to work real well right from the get-go. It was kind of a 50-50, kind of a crapshoot. Everybody been doing those trucks with 412s and a standard flat wall type blow through setup.
Right, absolutely.
Definitely changed the face of the no wall game pretty heavily when that thing got turned on for the first time, and just seeing some of the scores is doing. I watched it from pretty much infancy, what he'd post, and this thing's gonna be pretty good. Then he went to a show and put up a pretty insane score. I mean, even the Sundown show, I think it still was 72, and then I forget what it was, mid-high 71 or something. He held the record at with it. It was definitely a good build, and it was quite loud. Even even seeing where it's at. I just, like I said, I want to try some new subs in there. We'll see what happens. Maybe we can shoot more glass at Jimmy.
What are you gonna try make them? What are you gonna do with the subs that's in there?
Well,
I mean, what's the difference? What are you
the
gonna?
subs that are in there are like they call a V2 compact that Sundown makes. They're gonna make a
Mm-hmm.
V3. So far from the testing we're seeing out of Derek's and a few of the other people, I know Hank, I think, is doing a direct test at some point when they have subs for that Mazda truck. I believe he's doing the testing in. But from what we've seen, the V3s have been a pretty crazy increase in efficiency and very, very strong motors altogether.
Very strong.
It would be very cool to see what they'll do. Right now, like I told Jimmy, I don't even have subwoofers. I sold all them after finals. I had people asking for compacts, so I let them go, knowing that I'm gonna move on to the new ones and see where we end up.
It happens. I mean, people doesn't understand. My biggest thing is to tell everybody is to test, more test, and then when you think you're done, test some more.
Then you start over, tear it apart, and start from square one.
Right?
I've seen that many times over. It's not a lie. I mean, the guys that really do pretty good in the lanes and stuff, they do that kind of stuff. I mean, they'll test, and when they're done testing, it's rip it out and start completely over. If it goes back to the same thing after 3 builds, well, that's where you end up. But
you reach that peak, and you just can't get no more out of a vehicle. No matter what you do or how hard you try or how much power you throw at it, you can't get no louder. You've reached.
Another one in the no wall game that's really surprising me. I was kind of going to get onto that topic earlier. I think the mic was cutting out or whatever. But John Hyland, that old Ghostbuster van, he had some pretty amazing scores out of that. Even base scores.
Yes.
Did he run through your lane? Do you remember, Jimmy? Or?
Yes, he did. Yeah, it was at 712 Boom.
Right. Yep. Yeah,
Yes,
and he did like 67 something, I think, that day in Midwest. And I don't remember what did he do in.
It was comparatively numbers. I don't know the exact number. It was a 60 something.
Right. Yeah, I remember being quite high. He actually ended up doing a 68 at finals. I was pretty smiling for him. I'm like, man, there you go. So hopefully he's got some big things he's got planned. I helped him out with a little more electrical. He was kind of lacking that a little bit. So we'll see. Maybe he's got a little more in there. But he got called out at finals last year by Patrick in DB Drag because
I know
he's like, come on, I want to see that one come in the lanes against me. I don't want to go against the truck. I want to go against the van. So I told him, and I think he's going to take the offer, and they're going to have some fun. But it is cool to see that van actually
get back doing
pretty good.
Yeah. You had that van, what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
2017, I had it at one point, and I think, funny. I sold my no wall to Hank, and then bought Hank's no wall from him. Kind of a toss it around, but yeah, they Soundcheck ended up setting a record with it too as well. I think later on when they got it, and then I ended up getting it back, and then Hank got a Farino, and now I got Hank's no wall. So it's kind of a swappy swap with the no wall thing, I think, but
it works.
Yeah. Well, there's Mr. Hyland. Yeah, he accepted the challenge.
Yes.
A lot of familiar faces in the chat room, though. It's cool to see that.
Yeah. It's good to see all our teammates out here.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help that I called them all out before the show, but still.
Yeah, no, but it is good to see, even, seeing the guys throw their support. I mean, that really does keep a guy going. It's like what keeps you motivated almost. Like, okay, well, I got to do it for something, I do it for them worst case scenario. There's some days, it's like everything. I mean, yeah. Some people think, oh, building subs every day would be a dream job. Well, it's
no.
I enjoy doing it, to say the least. I gotta be thankful for what I do have, and everything's.
For the most part, since I've started running Base Wars, I really don't do recones as much as I used to, and I've gotten to the point now where I'll just send them to you. It's like, nah.
Yeah, you don't want to do it no more. I don't want to do it. It gets to the point where it can be trying. I mean, there's some days it's like, oh my God, one more of these. But, you just got to start.
I hate dealing with the small subs, like the 6s and the 8-inch subs.
I got someone with little hands to take care of that for me. So
Yes.
I'm hey, I'm letting all the secrets of DTX out tonight. Yes, it is true. If you're ordering, well, I lie. I normally build the X6.5s because she hates doing them, but those are easier than a lot of these other little ones. Believe it or not, the X6.5 is actually a way easier recone than the SA. Or a lot of little 6.5s, to be honest.
I
It's
just
not
did
fun.
some 8-inch. What were they? DC audios.
Okay.
OMG.
Yeah, all the 8 inches for
Pieces.
sure. It's so when but that's definitely an in the house secret there. She probably don't want, but it works. I mean, she likes building the little subs. Probably she hates putting the terminals on them things. I swear she someday
Yes.
she's ready to throw them terminals out the wall or throw them out the window. But it gets tedious because it's every 8. It seems like that stuff's always broke. So you're ripping that apart and you're putting all new stuff. So they're never, it's always that little dinky,
Yeah, absolutely. I
it's
hate
not
it.
quite as nice as some of the big tooled frames and all that, where you got a lot of room to sit and work underneath them. And she definitely has to be patient with that. I see her sometimes get very irritated with them terminals, but yeah, she definitely takes care of all the little subs. And
I
without,
definitely
honestly,
understand
I
her.
don't know what we'd do without her, to be honest. Electronics, you guys will never get a hold of me at that rate. It's hard enough the way it is. Jimmy been trying to get me to hang out with him for quite a while here already. But
Absolutely.
yeah.
So
No,
how
it
many
was worth
subs
it.
do you
Gotta
think you
take
do
a
a
walk.
day? How many do you think you do a day?
Well, I mean, we do got Dan Brown, he's a big help now. He's
Yeah.
came a long way in the sub building process, so I got him helping a lot with that. I've been trying to manage a little more, rather try to get everything under control because that was kind of slacking for a little while. My fault, yes, I'm going to take the blame, but at the same time, I can only do so many jobs at one time. I tried for a while to manage things and build and answer, and it turned into an absolute nightmare. So it is nice having the help. Dan does very well with it. I'd say between me and him, we probably, it depends on how many orders, but recones. Well, let's just put it this way. If we really had to, at Slamology, just for instance, we did a 2-day deal. We were on site. That was full builds, full everything, unless people wanted recones. There was a little bit of that. But between just on Slamology, I want to say it was a little over 40 subs within them 2 days in that time period that they're kicking us out of there early. You guys are done. You got to go. But yeah, that's about 20 in a day, roughly.
Man, that's a lot.
And that's full tear down, grind the basket. I mean, that's the whole deal. That's not, I sometimes wished I had it made like, some of the builders do it. So, everything's clean, fresh, brand new. You're not picking coils out of motors.
Right.
It's definitely not the most glamorous side of things, doing refurbs and recon stuff like that. But it needs to be done. I feel, people support us. I'm thankful for that. We got a lot of fans, a lot of people that like our products, and we're going to keep doing the best we can. I know we are loading up with actually just more secret info, but I did get a number of mega roll cones. I know I've been waiting for them for quite some time. I finally have my order I placed, 8 months ago in my hands. So we should be able to start taking care of people a little bit better, a little bit easier now with some of those parts. Like I said, some of these parts, not having them or access to them.
I'm kind of disappointed a little bit that you actually are not set up in the shop so you could actually show some of the secrets hanging on the wall back there.
Oh, I guess that sounds like another invite.
It does.
Maybe one time when we're sitting at the shop, I think we'll do a walkthrough maybe with you.
Yeah. So
you're always welcomed.
The subs in Steve Herman's van, did you build those?
Am I guilty as charged? Oh yeah. Yeah, I did build those. If I can remember right though, and I don't know if I'm 100%, maybe Steve will have to chime in on here, but I want to say those might have been subs I built for. I know I built them, but I don't remember if I built it for Steve or if these are the ones I originally built for.
I think Steve.
Sean Mayo. Are those
Sean
Mayo subs, Steve? Do you?
Well,
Or did we rebuild your subs? I don't remember. I want to say they're built like way too heavy duty for what he's doing for a class. And if
Right.
that's the case, there's a good chance they might have been Sean's old subs or something, is what I'm
That's
almost
what I was
thinking.
going to ask you actually. Is what kind of cones are they? Those are they're checkerboard looking, right?
Okay, I guess I rebuilt Steve's. Okay, so yeah, it was something, I don't know, I got confused. Yeah, Dennis Anderson out of Sweden actually makes those by hand at his place. He builds them one at a time. So far, they have been. Oh, John Hyland has males. Okay, I knew they went to somebody. I built a lot of
Right.
compacts that year. And every one of them had these Dreden cones. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
Dennis Anderson. That's his company there. Jimmy's plugging them for there, but yeah, they are
Right.
a chessboard or a checkerboard looking cone. They have been the strongest cones I've ever tested at this point. I have had other
Hmm.
cones we've tested in the past, and I've shot them apart like confetti. Uh, Not that the cones were bad the manufacturers make. It's just sometimes when you do things like John Hyland's van, for instance, it destroys subs. Those cones were the only cone that seemed to hold up on there. Other than Hank had pretty good luck with some weird paper cones he had in that van that he I think he epoxied that living crap out of them. So I mean they were probably just as strong at that point. But
Yeah.
um, carbon wise, those were the only ones that I've had that great of luck with. They're
Yeah.
kind of pricey, but I think that comes with one of a kind.
I guess if they
Mike
work.
Ulrich did make cones, yes, very similar. He has something very strong as well. Have I used them yet? No, I haven't. Mike, you have not yet to make me a few cones to try. But yeah, I have seen them in action though. Mike's got them on some of their team cars down there in Missouri, so on and so forth. But yeah, no, that the
Yes.
carbon, it's definitely they're definitely one of a kind type of deal.
It's a really good looking sub, man. I like the way they look.
Yeah, they turn out looking pretty cool.
Yeah, they
Um,
look sharp.
Is it needed all the time? No, not all the time. Some guys can get away with paper. I used paper all year with with the compacts, but I mean we're also using a 10-inch sub where there's literally no cone to begin with. So that you got to look at the kind of the big picture. The 18s were a real big problem. A lot of flex to the cone, and the 15s it
Yeah.
was a little more. You start talking 12s and 10s, you might not necessarily need it.
Are
Um,
they heavy? Heavy compared to paper?
they're pretty light actually. They're
Okay.
fairly about the same. Hank's saying the Terra has
Okay.
U cones, just stock. Yeah, see, once again, it's another band pass type setup too. So it's hard to say. There's a little more control a lot of times in a band pass. That's another situation where you might not need
Right.
the carbon. Um, but yeah, flat wall it definitely helps if you're shooting cones out. Even some band passes, some musical ones, I have seen that where we've had cones made for guys with more mega roll style surrounds and stuff like that. I think I might have pictures of that somewhere on the website, but it actually came in handy for a few guys on their band passes because they had a few subs that definitely had some sort of loading issues or something going on where they're popping paper and there was nothing they could do. So we built a couple of them for them. Granted, it was only the ones that went in those holes that they needed it for, but it gets kind of expensive when you got 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 subs. It might not always want to be for everybody, but if you need it,
Right.
we did it for, I want to say it was either 2 or 3 of the subs and 8 sub setup, and the rest they kept paper. It was maybe not perfect in a perfect world if people would want things all matching 100%, but
Right.
for the most part,
Hold up.
it's way stronger than most of these other cones, paper included. I mean, a lot of guys you'll see epoxying their cones and doing all that. That's the next step after that. So when epoxy fails and you're blasting through that, then carbon fiber might be all that's left at that point.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about that because I used to be at that point with the nitro. Anytime I would turn it up, I would just roast the coils, the cones, everything. There was probably 2 or 3 different shows where I actually got to the point where I turned it up full tilt and I was getting hit in the back of the head with the dust caps.
Yeah, yeah, that doesn't work so good.
So, do
Hank Wheat
you?
chassis. There you go. Yeah, he uses the same cones.
Oh,
Obviously,
wow.
the little 11-inch SPL cone. That thing can take a beating.
Wow, and it's paper.
Oh yeah, yeah. He had those in the extreme car. Like I
Dang.
said, that cone. There's not a lot of cone to it. Leave it at that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
By the time you get that little bit, you know,
Absolutely.
and then you got most of that's epoxy around the end. There's not a lot of comb left. So I see why they do take quite a bit of use. That's not even a question. Would it hold up with an 18 comparatively speaking? Yeah, you could try it. I'd be a little leery on that, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Now, so
everything has a
you,
breaking point at some point. It's just when.
yeah, yeah. So you ordered the cones from somewhere. I mean, the voice coils and the cones, all the stuff separately, and you put them together and build your subs. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. That's
So what's the lowest ohm coil that you have?
I believe compact coils, 0.25, a dual quarter.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
And there's people using those. That's
Yeah.
actually the thing.
I've heard of a .08, and I asked the guy 3 times, "Are you sure? Have you been drinking? Whatever." He's like, "Nah, man, that's what I got." It's like, okay, I mean,
0.25.
I never heard of anything that low. Would I hardly consider it anything below 2 or 1, really, but definitely not .08 or .25. I mean, because now you're talking .12.
Yeah,
It's
That's
happened.
almost a dead short.
right. There you go. Hank's got the quad
Quad
quarter.
Yeah.
.25.
Wow.
Is that point? Oh my
There
God.
ain't nothing on dead short.
There ain't
pretty
nothing
much.
there. That's .25, something like .025. That is a short.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
it gets hot
how it,
fast.
how it works, I don't know, but
Uh,
Hank's a
freezer.
magician at what he does. I'll tell you that. He's definitely a magician. He makes shit
Quad
work.
I
quarters. How
can't
many?
even fathom that, man.
What vehicle are those quad quarters in, Hank?
I think his new vehicle.
Are they?
And what amp will come on
Oh,
to
you got
start
one
the
amp on
deal?
each coil, pretty much. I'm thinking it's gonna be the idea.
Okay, all right, that helps.
Huge
Huge
coil.
coil.
Well,
Okay, so 4-inch coil, something like
No, it's
that.
a 3-inch yet, but it's really
Is it?
thick. I've seen them. I've seen these motors. I want to say, what are these? Maybe there's a guy in Super Street 1 and 2 that used them all the time. Kurt Nilsson. I want to say these might be those motors, if I can remember. I've seen them laying at sundown once a while ago, but yeah, it's a huge gap. I've seen those coils. They're real, very, very, very thick.
wow.
Dang.
So I don't
Well,
know
they
if
would
that's
have to
a
be.
good thing or a bad thing. Who knows? I mean, a lot of
Like
that's
8
weight.
layer or more than that.
It might even be more. I guess I don't know if the tank has a count on the layers on it. They're thick. They're
Man.
the 224s and the Mazdas. Okay.
See, that's what I thought he was.
Okay.
Yeah, compact 2 Vs.
Huh.
Yeah, I remember. So when are you gonna get that video done, Hank? Did you do that video yet, or with testing all 3 different versions of the compacts?
I've actually been waiting for that video as well.
I forget something happened with it. Something didn't go right, or I forget what happened. But yeah, I'd like to see it actually in action. See what the testing they see between the subs and stuff.
Yeah. It'd be pretty cool to see the efficiency and
I've
numbers.
been waiting to see one between V1s and V2s. Now that's very vehicle dependent. There's guys that have said, um, that just reading. Sorry, I'm reading Hank's thing, getting lost here. But there's guys that have said the V1s were louder than the V2s. The V2s would be louder than the V1s, vice versa.
Vehicle.
Is any of that truth? I don't know. I guess if we can see some testing on
Well,
one
it would totally
car,
depend on the enclosure, right?
yeah. But I mean, at least you could get a testing on the one car. I guess you'd kind of get an idea there. But like again, you're at one car, so what might work in the Mazda may not work
Right.
in another car, So
Right.
maybe the one would be better than the other.
You're
V3
right.
came in the trunk.
Figure out the issue of one sub clamping half power. And then
So, do you make motors, or you just take what you have?
Well, we get a lot of used ones, and then we refurbish them, rebuild them.
How do you do
I
that?
have a few subs that I'm in the process of hopefully coming around with. We got a Neo that Mr. Samino is working on with us, and I don't know if he's still in here. He was before. Nick, are you still here? Maybe not. But yeah, that Neo has been used by Mike Ulrich and a few of his people, and there's also another couple guys out by the Tennessee area that have been playing around with them, having very good luck with them. They've actually, the guys testing in the Civics out there, be Chris Caudell and Matt Holloran, they actually were having very good results out of theirs. They're running compact V2s. They're actually seeing a little better results out of these subs that we built up just to test of these new Neos. So they're a good contender. Will they be anything like a V3? I'm not going to bark up that tree or even claim anything without seeing anything like that. I don't think that's the case. I think the V3 is a monster from what I've seen. So, but not to say that the Neo that we are working on here isn't going to be a very good contender. So far, we are, like I said, seeing a little bit better results out of the Neo than we are out of the V2 that they both have multiples of. So, good things maybe to come. I guess we just got to see when we'll have the motors. We're hoping to have everything squared away by spring here. So, yeah, that's the goal anyway. I do have a ferrite I would like to get released at some point too that I'm hopefully working on with Jake, but he's kind of tied up at the moment at Sundown trying to keep that zoo afloat. I mean, they got to be dealing with a lot too. I mean, a lot of customers waiting on them and waiting on parts. We're all feeling the same pain here, but bear with them, guys. They're doing the best they can. I would hate to try to keep and manage that whole shop. That would be way more of a nightmare than what I think I can handle.
industry wide, I think that everybody's feeling that same hiccup or pain. Either way you want to say it, it comes with every product, from chips to coils to just anything. Everybody's feeling that exact same.
Well, I'm hearing a lot of it with like sound cards and graphics cards and all kinds of stuff in computers, and everybody's running into problems with this. I mean, whether we agree with people saying, hey, COVID had an effect on this or not, well, the obvious answer is yes, it did have an effect. I mean, China did shut down for quite a while. We've had a lot of problems getting parts back and out of there and getting things done on time. I know for a while they were doing skeleton crews, which was pretty insane. They could only run certain days of the week, so production slowed down.
Yeah.
It's just, it all kind of snowballed, like I think everything that they had to maybe send out that maybe was built up ready to go, they probably got out right away because those stimulus checks, nonetheless, they're going to last long in the base community. I mean, I think when that first happened, that first stimulus, I never had so many orders, and I was like, "Whoa, what happened, man? Something major happened." I'm like, "This can't be right." And yeah, we had a pretty good week there, and everybody decided, hey, we're going to buy subwoofers, I guess. And I got no complaints to that, but it does make a dent, though, because then you're starting to use up, a lot of motors and a lot of parts that maybe wouldn't have been sold in that circumstance if, they didn't have extra money to spend or whatever. So, it kind of is what it is. I mean, I'm guilty. I bought audio equipment with mine.
Right. Yeah. I think everybody that I know in the car audio business has had record years.
Yeah, definitely picked up drastic from
100%. I think so.
And you've seen that in the competition lanes too. I mean, the number of people trying it out that never maybe would have in the past. I mean, it was pretty good. I know, like Jimmy, a few of them Iowa shows, they got pretty fun. And even at night, we did base race. we set up base race for money, and a lot of people decided, hey, we're going to just hang out all night and blast music. And we did a lot of base race until 1, 2 in the morning. And well, Paul, I don't think sleep until Monday.
Shuts off.
But it gets to be a good good time. And yeah, no, I mean, you
I
definitely see a
plan to
lot
come
more
to that
people.
one. I can't wait to come to that show next year. I
You
intended to do it this
definitely
year,
need
and
to make sure you come to that show.
I had scheduled another show and didn't realize it at the same
Yes,
time,
sir.
and I had to go do it. But next year, I don't think I'm going to have any shows at all. It'll be everybody else, and I'm just going to go hang, right?
Oh, that'd be fun. So you're
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
talk him into coming to one of these shows?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm
712
definitely
Boom for
coming. Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
712. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's
yeah, definitely.
That's
712 Boom.
definitely, as much as it's a very underground kind of show. Honestly, I mean that's one of the most fun shows I think I go to every year. I mean, believe it or
I'm
not.
trying to get Kip to that one as well too, because it's in Iowa.
I,
It's not too out.
yeah, I bet he would be game once they get
Well, it's just a
to where
good
they can
time.
travel.
It's a great location. I mean, it's
It's
everything about
fun.
it's pretty fun. So
It really is. It's actually a really good laid back weekend. There's 3 or 4 different organizations there, and everybody just has a great time all weekend long.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's
That's
definitely
what
I'd rate it up there, Jimmy. And you guys help make it fun. I mean the Base Wars tent is definitely a popular hangout, and and just hanging out with people and having a good time. I mean it's always a decent time down there. So Tajan, he puts on a pretty good show.
he does.
Let's maybe give a shout out to him. I mean that
100%.
kid will do anything to make that crowd happy. Like he is just he even if it costs him money, which it has in the past,
It has in the
he
past, yes, sir.
he is still there with a smile on his face, and he's just making sure everyone has a good time. And with that being said, that's kind of the whole way it feels just being around that whole show. It's just all out good time, man. It's
I heard it was just mega fun. I really
oh
want to
yeah.
come.
Well, they
Yeah,
really is.
well, if you make it there, Bill, we'll definitely come
Yeah,
hang out. I'm
I will
sure I'll
make it
find you
there
over by
this year.
Jimmy somewhere hiding.
Right? Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
normally at your trailer at the end of the day, so
Yeah, we'll definitely be sitting there doing some base race all night. You can base war all day. Jimmy gets tired. We'll sit there and run the base race all night, more than likely again.
well, I don't get
Yeah.
necessarily tired. I just want to be able to sit and chill and hang out with everybody at some point in time. So I shut mine down probably about 5 or 6 o'clock. It was like, okay, come back tomorrow. Let's
Yeah,
go
yeah,
have fun.
Mhm.
yeah.
Right.
I think yeah. All right. Well, yeah. No, I don't know. Don't know a whole lot more else until spring hits. I'm kind of hibernation status. Just kind of keep on track of
Yeah.
working, and
Yeah.
we'll probably come pop back out probably early spring and see where we can hit up first. And I know we got a few of them out East Coast this year that we'll be going to. We've already signed up to say yeah we're coming.
Oh,
On
there's
the
Last
West
year we
Coast.
didn't make it to the Sundown show. Let me tell you something. I never heard the end of that. So we're probably not going to skip. I'm kind of honestly, I don't regret not going for only one reason. Everybody ended up with the COVID at that show. I swear to God,
Really?
they're like, man,
yeah,
I'm sick.
Brian, everybody,
Yeah,
a
the
lot of
whole
people got
crew.
it.
I'm like,
Yeah,
no. Luckily,
Man,
I've been fortunate enough never to grab that disease yet. I'm not
me
really
too. And
wanting it.
I was at Sundown, and I didn't get it.
That's a good thing. I mean, a lot of people,
Yeah.
they've died from it, whatever, what have you. I mean, it's definitely out there, but it really wasn't the most fun having everything shut down forever and ever either. I know everybody was very excited to get out, do shows again. I mean, a lot of guys were traveling distances that they maybe never travel because they didn't compete for a year, and
yep.
hopefully they had such a good time traveling, going to shows that we can actually see that continue. I mean, I think that's the most fun, just heading out to some of these shows, different areas, meeting new people. Tennessee, I don't know. I got a soft spot for those guys. They always have a very warm
Yeah.
welcoming for us over there. And North
Yeah.
Carolina, Sundown show that's normally been a pretty good show. And Indianapolis, I mean, who doesn't go to Slam that has stereo in their car? I mean, I don't know, maybe Jimmy. I don't know.
There was one
That's
guy.
not true.
Yeah.
I was there last year.
Right.
I went
Yeah, no,
every
I
year
mean
for the last
it's
7
just
years.
some of the bigger shows I do like going to. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully this year we can have enough gear so we can actually make it worthwhile to take the trailer and set it up. Last year we didn't do a lot of it because we just didn't have the equipment to sell our customers daily, let alone waste a bunch of
Right.
parts at a show. Not like it's necessarily wasting, but you know what I'm saying. Like I couldn't afford to lose any of those parts, so to speak. You know.
Right. When you got orders sitting on the shelf at home, it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
hard to give them away not give them
I
away,
come
but to
back
sell
with
them at a
nothing.
show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sundown ain't gonna have cones for 3 months, even though I just used yours last night. So I had to kind of
Right.
Yeah,
that's
I
a
had to
hard
kind of
conversation to have.
yeah, I had to kind of just put a cut to it this year for the traveling, but hopefully next year we can, hit it off good again with Directronics, do a lot more shows, have some more fun. Hopefully see all guys there.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know from my personal standpoint, I want to say thank you and thanks for all the support that I get from Directronics.
Yeah.
Well,
man,
that's what we're here
it.
for, Jimmy. I mean, hopefully we'll be around for a while. I know we try to always give everybody the best we can. I mean, sometimes I'll give more than what I even should sometimes, but I would rather make that person happy than deal with a problem, and
Right.
At the end of the day, it's bit me a few times trying to, hey, that's not cool, man. I know that. I mean, I've fixed things that I know clearly were not my fault, but it is what it is. It's at the end of the day, you got to try to make people happy, or they're never coming back to you. So
that's right.
That's my goal. Try to remain 100 with my customers, and try to stay out in the lanes, have fun with all you guys, because I do love competing. If it wasn't for that, I think I wouldn't have half as much fun as I do. But you guys make it fun, and this is my life, man. It's just what it is. I mean, I'm baffled sometimes. I wake up and my mother says, "Well, you build subwoofers." Like, yeah, but I get to do something I enjoy doing. How many people get to say that? I mean, it's not, so I can be thankful for what I got, and I'm very thankful for all my customers and all the support we have had over the last couple of years getting this going. And
God is good.
It really means a lot to me. I know Jimmy knows me a little bit closer than some, so he understands. Hey, man, this guy's pouring his heart out to you. He really truly gives everything he can give you. And with that being said, I do appreciate you guys just as much as I hope you appreciate me.
Well, I do. Definitely, sir. Definitely.
All right.
Yep. Well, all righty, sir. Does anybody have any questions for Dan in the comments before we cut him loose? I bet his supper's getting cold.
Oh yeah, well, she's still cooking it.
She's still cooking it. Dang, man.
Oh yeah, there you go. Thanks, Dan O'Brien. He's good.
Yeah.
Dan, and Dan. If I find another Dan, we're in trouble. But
boy, 3 Dans.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we guys talk to you guys later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming
tonight. We appreciate you and taking time out of your busy schedule.
Yeah, no problem. We'll do it again. Next time, I'll try to make sure I'm at the shop.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Take care, you guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
Thanks
see
for
you.
having me.
Mm-hmm. All right. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was a very long begging, Dan, please come on. Because I've been after him for like, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 months to come on.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
But he's a great guy, as everyone can see, and he goes out of his way and above and beyond to make sure that he tries to make the customer happy.
Yeah. Well, that is the first time I've ever met him, technically, I guess, even though it's on podcast.
Right.
But
I have a little bit of feedback coming through you.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, when I talk. Oh, it's gone now. Never mind. Kip's on it.
I didn't even have to move my hands, man.
He's on it. Look.
Listen, let me just tell you something. I would probably enjoy this a little bit more if I just did this. If I didn't have to do anything else like this. Yeah, this is nice, man.
If we get Kip to run the show every Monday night, that would be amazing.
I have not had feedback one, right?
Kip, is that an offer?
Right?
Well,
we might have to
we'd
get
have to have a
airplane
conversation about this. I'd have to rework my contract.
He said he's got to rework his contract. Right? Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
We do appreciate Space Force would have to afford an airplane. Right?
Absolutely.
Billy's here. Obviously, anyone who's still tuned into the feed, Billy is going to be on Unmasked Live tomorrow night. So he was actually in Stillwater, a couple days early. So when he had to do the feed tonight, I offered him. I said, it's just as easy if you want to do a feed. Let's just run over to the studio. I can output you from there because we've got this set up that he can attest. We're up and running in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. We definitely appreciate you guys helping us out like you always do.
Oh man, I should take a photo for you guys to see this. Let me just tell you what. So like I'm real pretty. I got a light there, two lights over there, big lights up there. And there's one over there, right? I mean,
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you sweating a little bit?
No, it's not too bad. But yeah,
exactly.
I need some more lights in my studio at home. That's all I need.
David said it perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It feels good. Right? Feels good.
I swear it looks like I'm watching the damn news. The quality for sure.
Right.
They definitely spared no expense when it comes to that. They have amazing quality and sound going on there.
Yeah, man.
Steve is the man. He takes care of his people and his customers. So,
yeah.
Hey, Dan, it's not our show tonight. We just gave Bass Wars, Billy and Jimmy here a hand. I'm glad we could give them the studio. We are proud of what we've got set up here. We do get a pretty good audio and video feed out of here. I won't call it Hollywood, but it's pretty dang close. But thanks for the comment, Dan. I certainly appreciate it.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty close to Hollywood. Absolutely.
Of course, Bill come from Hollywood too. So Bill Braun, he's Hollywood.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, he worked in movies and stuff. Isn't that right, Kip?
Mr. Bill Frog.
100% correct. Bill used to work out in Hollywood and did a lot of post audio processing. That was his bag of tricks. And so there's a lot of shows, commercials, or even movies you've probably watched in your past that Bill Braun may have had a hand in.
Did he have a hand in actually doing the music that you was in, Kip?
No, I got to give all props to Ernie. Ernie is a musician. I think he's got just about everything you can think of at his home. He's got pads, he's got guitar, he's got keyboard, he has the editing software. He is truly a musician at heart. I'll tell you how far it goes in his family. His son is a manager of a guitar center in Oklahoma City. So that's how far it's in their blood. And Ernie's done if you've ever watched, I'm sure you guys have if you've tuned into the feed, but like the CompQ video or any of those really cool videos that we run on our commercial reel every Tuesday night between 7:15, 7:30, Ernie's produced and made most of those, including the audio tracks that are in the background. He's actually made them.
Why don't you just step from behind that screen and come up and join Billy? I mean,
right?
Run.
Well, if we stay on the one camera, I can. Hold on.
While he's doing that, I'd point out this is Tommy competes with us in Shreveport, right? And he does the same thing that we just mentioned that Bill does, I think. I know he does something with TV shows and movies. I don't know if I think it's the audio part. I'm not sure if it's video as well, but I just, I stalk people on Facebook. That's what I do every day.
Man, I'm so jealous. I want to be able to experience the whole studio thing like you are.
Right.
How are you ever going to go back? That's what I want to know.
Well, I don't know. I guess I just have to. Right? Unless, Jimmy, if you were to send me, I don't know, man. I could probably make it look, my little place, I could make it look similar to this for 20 grand, 30 maybe.
Right? It would, my basement would take a lot.
No. Send me the money. I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
I'll do it. No problem. Just cash at me. $.
Everybody, we need you guys to cash at Billy so we can look professional.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And look at that. The amazing gift.
Well, I had to go get a headset on or I wouldn't hear you, Jimmy, so it'd be kind of, that's why we use these. I'll tell anyone out there watching, we're blessed to work for a company that's led us, in the last year, Ernie, myself, JW, Bill, Tim, we've had taken a crash course. And what used to make people nervous about doing in video, including ourselves, we've got it whittled down to our team of 5. We do this every Tuesday night, and I don't want to say it's easy. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but we've got it down into a machine that we just know how to feed it and roll it.
Right.
And so, I had to go get one of these in my head here, because this is one of the lessons we learned is you've got to have a professional monitoring system so that you can control feedback and do their things. The reason you're getting feedback earlier is I was actually on a monitor and my mic was on, so you were hearing Billy come back through the monitor backstage. And so back there in production, they actually have a monitor to hear everything. It doesn't affect what we pick up here in mics, but this is why we have to use these. And so it's, ask me what I like about Bluetooth, and I'll tell you nothing. And so we got away from Bluetooth, and this is actually a professional in-studio RF system that we can basically walk anywhere around the studio here and can hear what's coming in across the feed. So
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It is.
I fight feedback before we start the show. I fight feedback, and I turn my speakers away from me.
We sit for
this is the only way to do it.
For a good 20 minutes, me and Billy said, okay, is my mic good? Okay, is this feeding back? Okay, do I need to adjust this? Okay, no, it's on your side. Yeah, so.
Right.
Well, you talk about this, Ernie and myself and Bill, and I'm serious when I say this, Bill does have a career in Hollywood before he came to work for Kicker. I mean, besides all the car audio history he's got and, judging and everything, Bill did work in the Hollywood film and video industry. And so we all, I'm cursed to be an audiophile and a videophile, not just for car, across the board. So we kind of hold ourselves to a pretty high standard around here. We want a good picture, we want good audio, and Ernie's probably, he chomps at the bit every Tuesday night. He's like, okay, what's it sound like? Is it clipping? He's on it. And so I was just glad that we could get Billy in here to use the studio, because it's the feed that comes out of here, as long as we don't have data issues, because it is streamed, the feed out of the studio usually is pretty darn good. As someone in the comment feed said, they look like they were watching the news.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank
I've
you.
been trying to create something like this at home. I'm not quite there. For sitting there with a webcam, it's not bad. But,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
just in my
way
basement.
cooler.
That's what I have.
Right.
It's, to create what you see in this picture behind us, it takes time and it takes lighting. And, Billy's talking about it. Obviously, you can't see it at all in front of you, but there are 5 lights directly, or 4 lights directly up here lighting the studio set. And then, even though you can't see them, above us is a ton of lighting. And we actually went through and changed every single bulb here in the studio to an actual 5K, 5,000 Kelvin temperature bulb, which is what you use for shooting high def pictures. And so this end of the studio is actually bright. The other end of the studio is completely dark, but then we use spotlighting and everything to color the background. So there's a lot of work in setting the studio up there. Really
It's a lot of stuff here. It's crazy how much
It's pretty
stuff.
amazing, too.
That's why I use a green screen. It's because I don't have room or the money to create all that. So I just use a green. I cheat.
Yeah, we're just. In all seriousness, this room that we're in, it's a pretty big room. This room is 50 by 80. It's a big room. And before the COVID pandemic last year, this was our conference room. And so all 200 plus employees, we'd have a meeting usually in here with Steve Irby once a month.
Right.
And of course, with COVID shutting all that down, and then no go to SEMA, which was the original Unmasked we did, Steve gave us the green light and gave us this room to use. So for now, we're going to continue using it.
Right.
It's a ton of fun in meetings. Hey, David, you're entirely welcome. That's one of the things, and we're going to talk about it more tomorrow night, because I really didn't want to, I didn't even want to get on camera tomorrow night. I was just really doing this for Billy and Jimmy so they could have a good feed out here tonight to do the show. But, we are the corporate title sponsor for Base Wars, and we're proud to do it. And we've been doing it now for
100%.
2 years.
Yeah, at least two.
Is it?
I think it's
Is it
been
going
almost
A little
3.
longer. How long you had your tent, Jimmy?
My 10 has been almost
See
2
you,
and a half.
Samuel.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
about 2.5 years.
Yeah, Santa's go and run right there.
But we're going to, tomorrow night's show, we're going to dive into that kind of deep and talk about Base Wars and, Kickers Association with Billy. Billy is truly, and I'm not trying to sabotage you here, but he's a kicker fanatic and was a kicker fanatic long before Base Wars or anything else even existed.
Yeah, they all know that.
I know.
Yeah, he makes
Right.
it very clear and apparent every show.
I had to
figure.
not say this, but when we were talking about the cones and all that stuff, I was like, well, you don't rebuild many kicker because we don't fry them.
Well,
I know they can fry it, so I
They-
didn't say it, but
here's the thing when it comes to voice coils. If you cook a speaker, if you take a speaker out, you have gotten the voice coil so hot that the adhesives inside have let go, which allows the windings to come free, and then it either rubs a hole through the coil, or it locks up or seizes. I mean, you've done something. And what a lot of people don't realize is, and I'm not just going to brag on just Kicker. I mean, if you're looking at a top tier manufacturer, or even some of the boutique brands like Dan or someone who's building their own stuff, we're using extremely high temperature adhesives. But understand, extremely high temperature adhesives still at about 700 to 750 degrees Fahrenheit, they start getting soft and they start letting go. And so when someone sends, and we get our fair share of them back, I'm proud to say that our defect rate, which includes, because if you blow up a voice coil, I'm going to be real honest, that's abuse. That's not a manufacturer's defect. You blow a voice coil up, you're doing something wrong, you're clipping, you're either taking too little power and driving it too hard, or too much power. It's all user error. It's designed into our system. We cover burnt voice coils, even though we shouldn't, for a year under most normal warranty conditions. But if you blow up a voice coil, you're doing some serious damage to that speaker. And when someone says they send in a speaker and it's got a blown voice coil and say, well, I wasn't playing it that hard. Okay, that's like you take your car in and there's a telephone pole that's crunched into the front grille almost to the windshield. Go, I wasn't driving it that fast. Really?
Yeah.
All the signs obviously always tell the truth. The coil slid off because you've got it too hot, or it's slinky. There's always signs, and it tells the truth. Every time.
I'll stay here and talk with you guys a little bit. It doesn't bother me at all to do this, but you talk about that. Here's what a manufacturer's warranty is supposed to cover when you talk about voice coils. Burnt voice coils because you overpowered them or clipped your amplifier using dirty power is not a warranty issue. But that being said, there was a time, this goes back when I first started working for Kicker. I mean, this is 25 years ago. And the territory, I used to be a Kicker infield rep for North Peak Sales, and they did Michigan, Ohio, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania over to State College. So that was our territory. And there was a dealer that I worked with over there, and I knew the dealer because I'd worked with them for several years, and they were solid. They knew what they were talking about. They knew how to build boxes. They knew what they were doing and everything. And so I left working for Rusty. I came to work for Kicker. My first job was a tech rep, which back then was, there's 5 different departments that now handle the job that I did when I first came to work for Kicker. We've grown that much. And this guy, he calls me. He says, hey, Kip, he says, are you guys having a problem with Comp 15s? I go, not that I've heard of. Why? What's going on? He's like, man, he said, I just built a car, and I'll tell you, he said, I put it on a PPI A600. That's how far back it goes.
Dang,
Art Series 600 amp. And he said,
man,
I didn't play it 5 minutes, and the coil's locked up. I said, really? He's like, yeah, and I took them out. I put another pair in. It wasn't 5 minutes. The coil's locked up. And I said, okay. I said, well, first off, I want you to send those woofers back to my attention. But I said, I'm giving you permission over the phone. Cut it open, cut the spider, and pull it apart and tell me what you got. I want you to tell me over the phone. I still want to see it, but tell me what you got. He said, okay. So he cut it open. He said, you're going to cover this? I said, yeah, that's why I'm telling you. I'm going to cover the woofer. Don't worry about it.
It's messed up anyway. So
he tells, so he opens it up, and the voice coil was fine. It was completely off the former, sitting down in the motor, and it was just the voice coil former. It completely came off. So I logged it. He sent the woofers into me. I started we had a defect thing. If something weird came in, we'd log it in the system and then talk to R&D and work it up the food chain. We now have an actual QA, QC department that we would go to today. And lo and behold, what had happened is, at that time when we were making them, we still do today, but your voice coil former, one side of that former is just the former, and the other side of the former has a part 2 or an accelerant on it. So when you bake the voice coil, it and the coil bake together and make it one piece. Well, what had happened is they wrapped the formers backwards. So all the accelerant was on the inside, and there was no accelerant on the outside. And so the coils were literally, when they were baking the coils, the coil baked, but it didn't bake to the former. So they would just shuck off. You just get them barely warm, they'd shuck right off. So that's a manufacturing, that's the guy who came back from lunch on Friday and didn't pay attention to what he was doing. And, of course, we covered it for things. So, there are such things as manufacturing defects, and we cover those. And we cover things that aren't manufacturing defects. But the one thing I am proud of us as a company is, I walk back here into warranty, and there's a lot of stuff that comes in for warranty. Amplifiers, 9 times out of 10, it's no problem found. They don't use it, it's bad, not bad. But speakers, the vast majority of them are burnt voice coils. That's what comes back. That's not a manufacturing defect, that's abuse. But even taking that into account, we run on average, the car audio industry as an average runs between 12 and 15% defective rate.
Dang.
the car audio industry.
Yeah.
Okay. Here at Kicker, we run about 1.75. So does stuff break?
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
1.75% of 100,000 speakers is a lot of
See,
speakers.
I was going to point that out. So this not these baskets, but we use the baskets on the trophies, and that second batch, you know, it took us a little bit to get them. Well, that's just there wasn't many here. You know, there wasn't many here. So
I see Tommy Granville Jr. Is Kicker still Stillwater, or is it a different company now? Pop that up there real quick, Jimmy.
I did, sir.
So, Tommy, I've got this question a lot. Before we even did Unmasked Live, I get this question. I follow a lot of social media, or Facebook and everything, and I see this question. There are people that swear up and down that Stillwater Designs and Audio was sold to a Chinese company, and Kicker's not Kicker anymore, or the old Stillwater got... There's a whole lot of stories that exist out there. I don't know where those come from or where they exist, but this is what I can tell you. Stillwater Designs and Audio Incorporated is our company name. We are SDI Incorporated, founded back in 1973. We are still Stillwater Designs and Audio Incorporated today. The guy who started it, the owner, the founder, and the CEO and president, Steve Irby, is still the guy in charge of it today. The company's never been sold. It's never went through a name change. There's never been another investor. It's always been owned by Steve, and it's always been Stillwater Designs and Audio Incorporated. Now, Kicker, the reason everyone knows this as Kicker is the original box that Steve built to go behind the seat of a truck. Everyone who got to experience that when he first made it was this, of course, this has been back in late 70s, early 80s. And everyone who experienced that box said, man, this thing really kicks ass. And I can say that word tonight. I can't say it tomorrow night, but I can say it tonight.
Right.
And so, and Steve being Steve, if you know Steve, Steve is a very, and I'm proud of this, and I won't hold you, he's a very Christian man. For him, it's God family company, and he considers all of us his family, which is good. He takes care of us. But the thing about that is, he said, no, and Steve said, no, he said, I just can't call this the ass kicker, so maybe I'll just call it the Kicker. And so Kicker was the name of the original behind-the-seat truck box that Steve built. And over the years, the name Kicker became bigger than life. It's almost like if you ask for a Xerox, I don't care if it comes off a Brother, Canon, or HP, Xerox is synonymous with give me a copy.
Right.
Kleenex, I don't care if it's a Scott tissue or whatever, Kleenex means I want something to blow my nose.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola is every pop available on the planet. You got a Coke? Yeah, I got Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, you know, it doesn't matter. Coke is soda.
Yeah.
And Kicker became that and is that in this industry. And so back in about 2000, I think it was 2001, we actually did a complete change here at the company where everything went to Kicker. We're still Stillwater Designs and Audio, but no one knows who SDI is.
Right.
Kicker became the company name, even though Kicker was the name of a product that became so popular, it just made us who we are.
Yeah.
So long story short, I guess, or short story long, that kind of gives you the background on that. The company's never been sold. It's owned by the founder, and we are Stillwater Designs and Audio today, just like we were when it was founded in 1973.
Their product was so great, it overtook the company name, and they had to change it.
We had to change it to Kicker.
And used to, any sub you got was a Kicker.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of you have heard those advertisements on, Sunday, 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 come to the fairground, discount amplifiers, Kicker-like boxes, blah, 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 blah. They use the name Kicker just for a performance box.
Right.
Even though it's not.
I remember that, yeah.
They do it all the
Got some
time.
of those kickers.
Race fans, shut down the meth lab, come on out Sunday.
Right.
So, you're entirely welcome there, Tommy. Tommy, I enjoy talking about, car audio. I enjoy talking about home audio. I enjoy talking about just about anything. And I'm just glad that we're able to use this studio night for Bill so he can get on and have a good feed and join Jimmy there. It's fun. And I like answering questions. I'll talk all night. It's just this isn't my show, and I don't want to take away there.
No, we
You're not
appreciate
bothering
it.
us,
I don't want to step on anything that you guys are going to talk about tomorrow night. So, I definitely appreciate everything you guys have done.
This is new to me. Never heard of people abusing subs in competition.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
Which is why, David, the new L7X that's coming out is even a better version of the original Solo X. This is part of the Solo X family as we talk about. But this new L7X, are you going to be able to blow up the voice coil? Yeah, you can. Our own test engineer, he had to do a lot of things to actually burn one up, but he was able to kill a voice coil, but it took a whole lot to do it. And one of the things that's cool about it, he's talked about it a few times when he's been on the show, either through some of the reviews we've done for like the SEMA show and the Showdown, but Drew Jones from Baseaholics. He was actually here when we were testing some L7Xs in the Destruct room. And I'm not kidding, when we opened up the door to that room, they'd been playing in there for like 8 hours. And we opened up the door to that room, it was hot. I mean, it was like, when I say hot, it felt like walking into about 112, 115 degree room. It was hot. Yeah. And he walked over, the woofer's sitting there doing its thing with tones and everything. And the MDF enclosure was hot to the touch. I mean, the enclosure was hot to the touch. So, can you blow one of these up?
The boom room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did meter the boom, and that was fun.
You were here, weren't you, Jimmy?
Yes, sir, I was.
Yeah, he was here. That's right, you were. So the thing about these drivers, we've designed them to be as bulletproof as Kicker knows how to make a driver of this caliber. And then when you do take one out in the field, the cool part about these is once you get this out of your enclosure, you can rebuild this driver in under 10 minutes, and there's no glue to dry, no waiting. Once you replace the spare part in it, it's ready to go again.
In and out.
So the whole rebuild process, which in competition, you're going to rebuild a driver or 10.
Right.
Okay,
so the cool part about the
question I have to ask.
Sure, go ahead, Jimmy.
When it comes to the competition subs, and I'm not going to go anywhere with that, but on the competition line that Kicker is hopefully coming out with, are the recones going to be made available to us as the public, or is that something that we're still going to have to send back in to Kicker?
No, the recone for this will be sold just like the driver is. You'll be able to pick them up straight from kicker.com or your favorite brick and mortar store or online, anywhere you want. They will be available as a part.
I've actually been asked that question several times.
Yeah, there won't be any hoops to jump through anything. I mean, if you were someone doing competition, and let's say you're going to buy 4 12s and you wanted to have your spares, you could order 4 12s and then have 4 12-inch spares at the same time, and you're ready to go. And then literally changing these, once you get this out of your enclosure, there's 8 screws on the front that hold down the clamping ring, the aluminum clamping ring, and there's 8 screws in the back. You take those screws out, you literally pull all the moving parts and voice coil out, throw it in the trash can. There is pins. Let me look over here.
I'm making Kip work tonight.
I'm here. I've already been working. I've been back. You know, working back there is harder than working up here.
Right? Yes, absolutely.
So these are, and they are designed for each woofer. So I don't know if I know we don't have Tim here, so I can't change the switcher. But these pins go in the back of the driver through the perimeter venting holes and lock into place. And when you put these pins in, you then put your spare back in, and what these pins do is it perfectly centers the voice coil into the gap. Perfectly. There's no guessing, there's no guesswork. You're making it go in the gap properly. So with these in, you drop your spare in, put your front on, mount down the 8 screws, put your 8 screws in the back, and then pull these pins out, and it's ready to go.
I promise you I need a set of them pins.
All right.
The pin, these come with every spare. So when you order a spare, it comes with a pair. All the pins are in there. So if you lose your pins, don't worry, you'll get more with the next spare. But our engineers really on these. And the original Solo X was a fantastic driver in its day, and I know why people love them to this day. I know why the Ferrite motor is even today heralded as one of the best Ferrite motors you can get. Just bear in mind, the engineer who designed that original Solo X, he designed the new motor on the L7X. So the guy who did the original did this one. And we've learned a lot over the years as far as...
he had 20 years of learning.
He had 20 years of learning. We know a little more now.
Right.
But especially when it comes to changing out the spare, this new system is a whole lot more accurate. It gets you around stack-up error that you get in mass production and everything. This is going to be a really cool driver.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to do everything we can to keep the spares available, just like the speaker itself.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think at this point we're kind of reaching that point. So, I mean, if you guys have any questions for Billy, Kip, or myself, please reach out and, let us know now.
Yeah. If you got any questions, I see David Bryan again. Do you know what the cost of the recones will be? David, right now...
I can answer that.
Yeah, go ahead.
They're going to be $1,000, but you're going to get a discount if you base wars, So... Yeah, you'll get a substantial discount.
That patented chip wink right there. You got that right there.
Here's the thing. As we've said on Unmasked Live before, the drivers themselves. Now, keep in mind the original Solo X was available in a 10, a 12, and an 18, the original one. This go around, they're going to be available in a 10, a 12, and a 15. These are the 3 drivers we're launching, the L7. And I want to reiterate, L7X, which is part of the Solo X family. So these 3, what we're looking at is, I really can't give you a comparison price on the 15 because we never made a 15, but if you look at the 10 and you look at the 12, this retailed for, if I remember correctly, $9.99 on the 10, and I think the 12 retailed for $11.99. And our goal when we started this whole project was for these new drivers to be at about half the retail price point of the old Solo X. Now, unfortunately, this thing called COVID and the pandemic and global logistics and supply and everything else that's come along is it's turned it into what I like to call dumpster fire.
Right.
So we're not confirming any prices on these until we get to the end of the race, but understand our goal is for these to be much more affordable than the original Solo X. And the spare part, I mean, once you've got this cast basket and you've got the motor, I mean, there's a lot of the weight and a lot of the cost. So getting a spare will be significantly less than buying a whole driver. Yeah. But I do not have any pricing I can talk about at this point because it's not finalized, and it's because of, I mean, these were supposed to be out the first of the year. That's what COVID has done to everything. It is literally like putting honey in an engine. It just brought the whole thing to a crawl. So we apologize for that. I'm excited to get these out in the field. My home theater is screaming for 4 of these imported boxes. So trust me, I want them just as bad as you do, because 20 hertz. Gonna be great out of these.
As much as I hate to answer on this question,
Sure.
Donnie, there's actually another company that already does this, and they have done it for probably a couple years now. And that's
I think Orion.
Orion. Yeah, Orion subs actually use the same pins. Well, not the same ones, I'm sorry. But they use the same technology for their recons.
They copied us. The truth is in car audio, the original Solo X was the first driver to be field replaceable like that. It really was the first one. Now, when it comes to field replaceable speakers, in car audio, we were the first to do it, but we weren't the first to do a field replaceable cone. That actually honor goes to I think it was Peavey. In the pro sound world, I think Peavey did it in a line of subs called, I think, Spider, if I remember right.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, in the pro sound world, they actually did it before we did. But in the car world, we were the first to do it. So, do you know what the cost recon was? We know. Sounds familiar. 99.
Yeah. So
awesome.
that's let's see, where was that? That was Jamie Biodrowski. He runs Orion. He's a big Orion fan.
Yeah, he's Orion.
We were talking about the pins.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just looking through, see if there's any other questions. If you guys have any questions for Billy or Jimmy or even kicker related, go right ahead.
All right. What's this? Is this craziness? Yeah. So
would it be cool if you had a prototype to the first place winner tomorrow night?
So I asked David if he wanted my autograph, right? And he said no.
No.
Yeah.
Man.
But he said he wanted a Kip and Dave shirt autographed.
Well, we'll put Billy on there too. That'll make it worth at least $1 more.
Right. I'm going to sign that thing.
Because with Dave and I sign it, it's worth 50 cents. So if you sign it, it'll be worth $1.50.
David. I'll sign it.
You know what, David? As far as giving away anything on L7X right now, we can't. There just aren't any available. Everything that's in-house is being used for final. I would tell you we're in the final stages of tweaking, tuning, testing, power handling testing, everything. I mean, the engineers are tweaking up to the last minute. Our goal, again, is to have these drivers out in the first half of 2022. That's our current target, and hopefully everything stays on track. The thing that you know, I know we're talking about car audio here, but I hope you guys understand, because you've experienced it in the rest of the world, everything is moving at a snail's pace when it comes to availability of anything.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is, and you know, food.
Tag plates.
Even food's getting that way.
Yeah.
I mean,
everything.
2.5 hours at a wait.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
I bet it was amazing though, wasn't it?
but we're doing everything we can to get these out. If the world hadn't experienced COVID, we would have already had these speakers done into market probably by March or April this year, but just wasn't possible. So, Dean and Fernando shirt. Dan O'Brien. I don't have a Dean and Fernando shirt, but I want one.
I know. Yeah,
right.
I watch them faithfully every Monday night before I come on our show.
I watch as much of their stuff as I can. I mean, I watch a lot of Dean and Fernando. I watch a lot of Hi-Fi Vega, which is reverse polarity, and of course he does that side jag thing with Dean, which is just a movie review thing. Which
Hi-Fi Vega will actually be on Base Wars Live the 27th of December.
Oh, good.
So just a little shout out right there.
Right.
He's obviously Billy is here live in the studio tomorrow night. We're going to talk about Base Wars and everything in that organization. It's going to be if you guys, I'd love for you to join us tomorrow night. It's going to be a fun time. Tomorrow's the 14th, right? Yeah, tomorrow is the 14th.
Yes, 14th.
Okay, then the night after, which is the 15th, Vega reached out to me, and I'm actually going to be on Reverse Polarity with his show on the 15th. So this is going to be a busy week for me.
Yeah. Right.
But it's going to be a good time, and I'm sure most of the guys in here know about it. If you don't, Unmasked Live Weekly, we do it every Tuesday night, 7:30 Central Time, right here on the Kicker Facebook and YouTube channels. Obviously, we're coming to you from the Base Wars channels tonight. But tune in if you haven't. It's a good time. We do prize drawings every Tuesday night. We're in the habit of trying to do some bigger drawings that go through. Matter of fact, right now we're running a big drawing. It's going to run until we're going to. It'll be. See, the 20. We're not going to be here the 28th, so we'll announce the winner on the 21st show because we're not going to be here the 28th. We're all taking the holiday off.
I think we should call Billy out since he's in the studio, and we should make maybe one of them Kicker Unmasked drawings be a membership to Base Wars for a year.
Yeah, right. It's a good idea.
If he wants to do anything like that tomorrow night, we can certainly add it to the mix. It's not a problem at all.
We could definitely do something.
I'm just, throwing a little something up there.
Right.
The funny thing about it, and we Billy and I were actually talking about this earlier, which is directly with this show with you guys, is our show on Tuesday nights is off the cuff. I mean, I've had some people that have flat out asked me or told me, "Man, Kip, you're really good from reading from a teleprompter." I'm like, "There's no teleprompter here.
That is not one of the gizmos I'm
not
looking
a teleprompter."
Not one.
We do it really off the cuff, but we do have a loose, structured script that we go by. So there's just, I know every show I know I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, we're going to cover this, we're going to try to do this, we're going to get into the meat of the show, we're going to do the drawings. So we have a loose script, but really we sit down and Billy knows, and because we do it, he'll do it again tomorrow night. We get together. We actually, the five of us, and if we have a special guest in the studio, they join us. We have a table set up here. We break bread together, and we kind of laugh and joke and have fun and kind of loosely talk about what the show's going to be about. But our goal for Kicker Unmasked is, we want great audio and video. We want a good production environment here, but we want to be as off the cuff and as loose and as direct and open and transparent, I guess would be the best word. So that's like a lot of the demos we do on the show.
Yeah.
We test the demos we have to make sure they work. But if something's going to break or go up in smoke, you're going to see it live because, as I've come to be known as Clip, I tend to take things there and leave it.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a really good time on Unmasked, and I appreciate everyone who tunes in, and I love that we can get people in like Billy and Jimmy and others to come join the show and talk about what's going on in their world. And of course tomorrow night I'm really excited because with us being the corporate, I hate to say we're the corporate sponsor, but we are, but it's really just
you are, absolutely
right.
I don't want it to feel that way because it's not like that. I mean, it's pretty
well, y'all are the only ones that sponsored us.
We do,
right.
And hopefully, hey, there's Bobby B. What's going on, Bobby? Good to see you, man.
He's late.
I just see. He's coming in now. Bobby's from California, right?
Yeah, but he's usually in early.
So he's in a little late tonight.
He's in trouble. He must have went on a date with his wife.
David, I don't even watch TV anymore with all the podcasts going on. It's a lot more entertaining. Right. David, I got to agree with you. About 4 years ago, I kicked I guess for the lack of a better term, I'll call it mainstream TV. I kicked mainstream TV out of my house, and neither myself or Paula, my wife, who she also works here at Kicker, we don't miss it. And all the time, Paula and I, when we go home and we have time to sit down and watch something, we're choosing what we want to watch from. We subscribe to about 3 different streaming options. She watches a lot of stuff off of YouTube. I watch a lot of stuff off of YouTube. Yeah. And what's funny is when I found myself unplugged from all of the trash that mainstream media is feeding you on a constant basis, I'm such a happier person, and
person,
life
yeah.
is so much better.
Yeah.
So I don't miss it.
I agree with you. I haven't
I
watched
couldn't
news
tell
in
you the
probably
last time I
5
sat
years.
in front of a TV.
You know, it's funny. There was was a reporter. They went out to a Dutch Amish community here in the last year. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And they asked, they were interviewing this Dutch Amish community, and the guy was a spokesman. They were talking about all sorts, and the reporter asked him, said, "So, what is it about, you know, COVID? You guys don't seem to have a real issue with COVID, and so is there something special going on, or what's the issue?" And he says, "Oh, we don't have TV."
Right. That's a good one.
So that was funny.
So I do have a question. It's not really audio related, but I was riding around town today going to Eskimo Joe's, if you guys know about that, right? What's up with the horse and buggies that I kept waiting for at red lights?
Here,
Yeah,
Let's
down,
the
by,
Amish
right
country.
by,
we had horse and buggies in town.
oh yeah, Clydesdales.
Okay, what?
The Amish country.
Man, I feel like I'm taking over your show.
No, it's fine. We're done. This is the
All
after
right.
hours part.
All right, so what you're seeing there is downtown. You went through downtown. In Stillwater here, we've got a really nice downtown area.
Yeah.
And around holidays, they really try to do family-oriented things or do things. So I don't know if they've done it this year, but in the past, they've actually gone down and set up a ice rink where they come in and set it up, freeze it, and so you can go down there and skate. And they bring in horse and buggies and do rides. So there's all that stuff that happens here in Stillwater, which is cool.
Yeah.
What's going to be really cool is downtown in that area. It's called Block 34.
Okay.
It's actually a city block down there that's kind of abandoned block sitting there.
Yeah.
Steve Irby just announced to us here in the company that we are basically donating the funds to develop Block 34 downtown,
Oh,
and we are
cool.
putting in an amphitheater.
Awesome.
So there's going to be an outdoor amphitheater. There's companies that have already signed in coming in. There's going to be a brewery in down there, so a microbrewery's going in. There's going to be food down there available, and it's going to be
How
a
awesome
place
is that?
where it'll be kicker. And Steve has dedicated the funds to it that we're going to pay to keep it up for the next 10 years.
Dang. Yeah, that's
And so
cool.
I
That's
know
really cool.
I know we're here. We're talking about base wars
Yeah.
and high SPL and things like that. But at the end of the day, guys, at the root of all this is the love of music.
Yeah.
And Steve Irby's a musician. I mean, I played drums as a young man and teenager. So it's all about music. I mean, sometimes nothing can put your mind right other than just getting somewhere and listening to music you enjoy at the right volume level.
Right.
Sometimes.
That's
And
why I want to put those 12s in.
that's
the
why I don't blame you. And so I'm really proud to say that. So when you talk about things like that, another thing that's coming to Stillwater is Steve and basically Kicker. We are developing Block 34 downtown. That's going to be pretty awesome.
That's really cool.
So whenever we get to do, which I'm really hoping, I know we put this off for this past fall. I'm really hoping that we can do an old school stereo meet.
Right, I remember that, yeah.
Springtime here. And if we do that, I mean, we need to get you and
Yeah.
Jimmy and everyone come down here and
Have a big party.
have a big party.
Yeah, that sounds
Well,
fun.
hopefully, Base Wars with Diddy Eddie is going to be having a show up there in Springfield or up in Stillwater this summer. So hopefully, you guys will definitely be there.
Right.
Yeah, as soon as, I mean, you've been gracious and asked me to come to several, and unfortunately we've been on a travel restriction, but I'm hoping that at the end of the year we get that thing removed and can do things because you're just, I mean, what, an hour and a half from me?
A couple hours, maybe.
I mean, it's not that
I think-
far.
I think overall, I think it's like 3 hours, but yeah, it's not that far by any means.
So I drive that in my sleep.
Right. That's a
Exactly.
joke.
Especially anymore. Anymore, yeah.
So,
Hey, shout out to Bobby. Hey, if you've actually got something in the mail and it's what I think it is, Bobby, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for doing that. I will definitely let you know when I get them, and I will definitely enjoy them.
right.
So that means Billy gets one of them fancy cups tomorrow, or in the mail.
Cups.
You don't know about that? Man.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Is it-
Just send me Billy's cup. He doesn't know about it. Just put
Right.
Jimmy on there and send it to me.
Guess
Oh, I saw those. Yes.
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 we've
Oh, that's
been doing
cool.
this
That's
little.
good. Yeah, because it got their name on them. and
Yeah,
all.
get your name on it.
that's
You
why
get
I
a
said-
kicker
I did see
unmasked.
that, yeah.
You'll get that tomorrow night. Well, you won't get it tomorrow night, but you'll get put on the list for
Yeah,
tomorrow night.
That's cool.
No, it's-
We actually did a run
it's-
for everyone this past year, so now we
Right.
got to start.
Yeah.
You'll like
Yeah,
it.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I like cups.
Ramondo, which I asked you said you thought you'd seen his name, but Ramondo Walker, he came into the studio and we were talking about the showdown and everything, and of course we gave him to him in person, so he was
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool.
tickled as a pig in poop.
Yeah.
to get that.
Yeah.
Well, y'all have a lot of horse and buggies here in town.
That would be why, because of the Christmas. They
Christmas
really
holidays.
try to set things up down there
Oh,
and make
those
it
are
family
nice
friendly and
horse
fun.
buggies.
Yeah,
They were Clydesdales.
yeah.
Oh, they were fine.
So that's what that's all about.
I didn't mind waiting. It was cool.
It's
to see.
all right. It's
I started to get on one.
you might as well. You should have.
Listen, so I've been riding around a little bit. The last month, about 15,000 miles, and I'm not joking. I saw, as I was coming here, I saw some people at a lake fishing. And I thought, man, I could just pull over there and just walk up there and just sit on the tailgate while they fish. And it would have been so nice. And I thought, you know, today's world, they might have whipped out a gun and says, you know, get away, you crazy fool.
Right.
But so anyway, it was cool. I
You never
almost did follow that horse and go for a ride. Get in that buggy.
I was just looking through, see if there are any other comments there coming up that, who wants to sponsor me for 6 of the 15s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Never
mean this
know.
one?
Right?
Well, I
I'll
think there's
give
been
one.
plenty of people that have spoke for that certain subwoofer.
You know, everyone is excited for this subwoofer to come out, and so are we. I mean, we're really excited to
Steve
get this
Barber.
out. Yeah, Steve Barber, he's definitely a guy who's chomping at the bit for it, so to speak.
Right.
But, you know, like we say, this is L7X, and, you know, this is our first product in the Solo X family.
So some things that just don't really come across on the TV, right? I want to show y'all something because this, can you see this? So this surround right here, this is the iPhone,
13?
yeah, the big iPhone,
13
the bigger
Pro?
13. It is, all right, this surround is huge, y'all. It is massive. I mean, it's like,
You can kind of tell by the hand.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's your hand. I mean, it's a.
Yeah.
right, it's big. I mean, looking at it on the live stream didn't iterate just how big this surround is. So what'd you say, 3 inches?
Yeah, all 3 drivers are 3 inches or more peak to peak.
Right. Y'all, it's big. The little ribs right here are as big as the surround on a
But there we go.
6,
Probably.
6.5 or an 8.
Probably.
On this little rib right here. Yeah, they're massive.
Yeah, they're exciting. I can't wait to get these in people's hands and see what they think about them, because I think they're going to be really impressed.
Yeah.
So how
These
much
will be
longer
very,
are we
very
going to
impressed.
expect the Santa look, Kip?
This? I'll probably wear it through the end of the year, and then I'll probably end up going back to smooth babyface Kip with just the goatee. This was actually started. We did the episode for the
Halloween party.
the October one, and so they wanted me to get a little scruffy and kind of be like that. What's the guy from Unmasked Things? The police officer. Doggone it, I forget his name.
I don't know.
If you don't watch it, if you haven't watched it, but anyhow, there's a character on there, and I wore the shirt that he wore. And,
Oh, okay. Oh,
So-
was that the Hawaiian thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was all dressed up for that. So I wore it for that. And then it kept coming in. And since I can grow hair here and I can't grow hair here, I'm like, well, okay, so we'll just keep it going. And it actually it was out a little bit. And I was like, that's getting too scruff for me. So I actually pulled it back a little bit. And so it's the thing, you know, everyone, you'll be blessed to experience, I hope, is that at some point you figure out that, why is this gray? It used to be black. What happened? What happened to it?
It
But
happens,
it's,
trust me, I did very well. That everybody asks, why does this keep getting smaller and smaller? Because I'm getting the gray out year by year by year, and that's all I got left is just that little bit.
Well, you know, they make that stuff just for men, where, you know, you beard
Right.
hair, whatever you can. It's like I'd have to buy the company because I can't afford to buy enough product to keep the gray out. It's just
Right.
It
I might have
works
to work
fast.
on that too.
it does, but it's but you know, I'll probably keep it through the end of the year, and then I'll probably get clean shaved off again.
Okay, well, I guess on that note, we definitely appreciate everybody for holding out and watching our live stream tonight. And thank you, Kip and Kicker and everybody else that in behind the scenes. You know, they're not there tonight, but they
Helps us grow. Right.
I was glad to get Billy in here so he could stream from the studio. I mean, this is an awesome tool at our disposal, and anytime we can use it, whether it's for Unmasked or not, I'm glad that we can. So Thanks, Steve Irby. It's all because of him.
Right?
And a special shout out to Dan with Directronics for coming on tonight. We definitely appreciate him and
Yeah, that was really
everything he does for the community.
Yeah.
And on that note, guys, I think we're going to end ourselves with a nice little video that we haven't watched in a while.
It's been a long road since the original kicker christened that first pickup truck. Oklahoma has always been a hotbed for musical talent, and Stillwater just added to that legacy. Steve Irby essentially invented the full-range mobile audio enclosure market when he built the original in 1980. That kicked off a car audio renaissance, and upgrading your music in a vehicle was a requirement. We followed and supported enthusiasts who sweated over unbelievable audio systems to recreate perfect mobile sound. America's music machines became live and loud over your passion, your emotion, your existence. From boats to motorcycles to side-by-sides, we still follow you wherever your music takes you. Outdoors or on the open road, Kicker provides the rhythm to your life.